What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing the Chicago Bulls and one of the top superstars in the league, discussing one of our rookies. Now, at the end of the day, this was said a while ago, but I just haven't gotten around to it, if you know what I mean. And it's something that I probably should have talked about a little bit earlier than this, to be honest. But look, it's been very quiet, but we have been discussing about other things. Outside of Woj retiring, it's actually been it's been like a pin drop when it comes to the NBA. Not much has been going on. So again, we're getting to the point where we're excited about what's to come. And it looks like one of the top superstars in the league is excited about our rookie, Matas Buzelis, or Matas Buzelis, however you want to say it. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and Matas Buzelis. Do you believe he's going to have a good season for the Chicago Bulls? And what are your thoughts about already top guys in this league praising his work ethic and excited to see what he could become? Not many times have you seen players around the league, players around the world even, talk about our players with such high regard before he's even stepped foot in the actual NBA. It's something that gives me a lot of excitement, to be honest. But who is this player that we're talking about today? Well, he's a top guy, top player, one of the best in the league. His name is Paul George. That's right, PG-13, or even in a recent stream on my gaming channel, PG-8, is talking about Matas Buzelis today, which is quite interesting. And look, he had a couple of things to say. I'm going to read some of the quotes that he mentioned, but this was on his podcast called Podcast P. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen much of his podcast. I'll be honest as well and say I haven't seen a lot of content recently when it comes to the NBA. I just don't have enough time anymore, man. It's this time flies when you're kind of in full-time work and stuff of that nature. But that's probably also another reason why I'm talking about this rather late. Here's what he had to say about Matas Buzelis. I also like that young guy Chicago actually just drafted, Matas. Bro, he's going to be a hooper. I watched him in Summer League. I watched him a little bit when him and Cooper used to go at it. Obviously, he played for the G League Ignite team. He might be one of the like up and coming stars very soon. He can hoop. He got game. Again, you should probably watch the podcast because those quotes, the way that I just read it, maybe I read it wrong, but my goodness, it's much different compared to when they actually speak about it and stuff of that nature. So go watch Podcast P if you haven't already. Go watch the DeMar DeRozan interview. Most of you would have already done it because you're all Bulls fans and I'm slacking. But anyway, it's quite interesting, in my opinion, to get someone of that caliber talking about Matas Buzelis before he stepped foot in the NBA. Now, of course, what does that mean for him? What does that mean for the youngster? Well, it's nice to know that the older guys, the veterans in this league, will have some of the younger guys back. If I'm not mistaken, Matas Buzelis has actually said that he credits his game right now and he looks up to Paul George as a player to watch and analyze and study from, which is, again, I think a good example to follow. Paul George is one of the best two-way players in the game today. I think he's slowed down a little bit, but ultimately he's still one of the best. He's very smooth in his shot. He's one of those guys where at the beginning of his career couldn't shoot the ball to save his life, at least from the NBA level, and he's turned into one of the smoothest offensive players you will see today as well. It seems like everything comes naturally to him, but it wasn't really like that for Paul George. He definitely had to work for it. And I hope a little bit of that, I guess, work ethic, a little bit of that ability to use what you've done in the offseason and what you're training can relate to the NBA. That's all I really want to see from Matas Buzelis when he comes into the league. Whatever he's working on in the offseason, whatever he's working on in training, I want to see that reflected in the games. It's why we talk about Kobe White with such high regard, in my opinion. I want to see that with Matas Buzelis because I truly believe exactly what Paul George has said. I believe he could be a true hooper for the Chicago Bulls in the near future. I really believe that. Again, I think his confidence is the biggest thing to speak about in this regard. You can talk about being a hooper all you want. You can have all the talent in the world. If you're not confident enough to execute what you've got in your locker, you probably won't become that superstar that a lot of people want you to become. And maybe in some ways we've experienced that already. But Matas Buzelis from the Summer League, the thing that exuded the most out of his game wasn't necessarily the points or the assist or the flashy dunks that he had. It was the confidence in the way that he was doing it. The trash talking ability as well. We don't have many trash talkers in this team, but his ability to trash talk, his ability to speak, his ability to kind of get into the opponent's head and show confidence while doing it. Someone that no matter how hard he's getting hit is going to keep on fighting and is going to keep on exuding that confidence. Maybe a little bit diluted sometimes, you know. When you're down by 20, the last thing you want to do is trash talk someone on the other team. But maybe that's the type of character that he will be in the NBA, where he will just continue to talk and continue to exude that confidence no matter what the situation is put in front of him. It's something, again, I'm so excited to see. It's always a great thing about a rookie and watching them kind of come into the league. You know, trying to see how they find themselves in the NBA. Of course, most Bulls fans will never get that opportunity ever. So when someone does get that opportunity, especially when they're close to that homegrown talent like Matas is, you want to see him thrive in that situation. And of course, I don't think a little bit of the rub by the, I guess that's a wrestling term, but you know, a little bit of positive talk from a veteran like Paul George, that's always going to help someone. I mean, I've seen Paul George and DeMar DeRozan, to be honest. There's a very good meme about it, about how they're saying how many sorry-ass players there are in the league, you know, and how trash some of them can be and how some of them don't want it hard enough and all these things. So it's not like they're saying this just for the sake of saying it as well. They have talked about how trash some players in this league are. I'm not going to name names because I don't think they even name names, but there definitely are some players that you could tell just want the money more than anything. And that is the harsh reality of life and of the NBA. So when you get someone like Paul George and DeMar DeRozan in a room together discussing the future of the Chicago Bulls, because Matas Buzelis is probably our future, but also discussing the positivity of how we selected him, it only adds fuel to the fire of what's to come. That's what I'm excited about. That's why Paul George speaking about him in this regard is an important thing. And of course, when a player like Matas Buzelis, who looks up to Paul George, gets to see that confidence and positivity return to him, it's a big thing for him, I'm sure. So thank you, Paul George, for speaking so highly about a Chicago Bulls player. I'm probably not that keen to see you in Philadelphia, to be honest. Just to see you 4 times a year or 3 times a year. It's going to be quite frustrating, but nonetheless, we'll see what happens in the NBA season. And yeah, for Matas Buzelis, hopefully he can live up to such high praise that both DeMar DeRozan and Paul George has spoken about. And we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But with that being said, I am going to end the video here. There's no need to drag it on any longer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.